Nicole here with Job Hunt Solutions, and today's Thursday, which means it's Viewer Question and Answer Day. This week's question comes from Anirban, who is asking about industry-specific questions that are sometimes asked in interviews. Now, specifically, he was asking about those brain teaser questions that we sometimes see in consulting interviews, high-tech companies, or even just other companies that have consulting function that they're trying to hire for. For those of you who aren't sure what these brain teaser questions might be, it could be anything from how many basketballs can fit in this room through to how heavy would a Boeing 737 weigh at the time of takeoff, and any point in between. I find the best way to really understand how to answer a question is to think through what the purpose might be for the question. So the purpose of these brain teaser questions is typically to assess your critical thinking skills. It's really not some cruel and unusual punishment in the form of a reality version of the game show Jeopardy! It's really truly to assess your critical thinking. So now that we know that the purpose of these questions is just to assess your critical thinking, it's time to really look at the question and how to approach answering it. So using the basketballs in the room example, first thing you might want to do is to repeat the question to the interviewer. This will just solidify the question in your mind and make sure that you're clarifying any sort of assumptions that you have. So this is a pretty straightforward question. There's not too many elements to it. The second thing you may need to do is to ask any clarifying questions about this. So, for example, it may be, will the room be emptied of all of its contents? Or would the basketballs be inflated or deflated? So those are probably two big factors in determining how many basketballs can fit into a room. If there isn't anyone there to answer those questions for you, be sure to clearly state your assumptions. Things like the room would be emptied of its contents or that the basketball is inflated. And finally, when you're looking at this, I know you have to go back to some of your earlier grade school math to calculate it, but try to use sort of round numbers as much as possible. It just makes the calculations that much easier, and it's really not about you being completely perfect and being able to calculate to the millimeter how many balls can actually fit into a room. So with that in mind, let's take this example and let's assume that the room is 10 by 10 by 10. Again, nice round number, really easy to calculate. So that would be 1,000 cubic feet. Now let's assume that a basketball round is about a foot, right, in diameter. So assuming that they're not going to be tousled about, they're just going to be, completely square to each other, that would be 1 foot cubed. So a 1 foot cubed ball can fit into 1,000 cubed foot room 1,000 times. So that's your answer. So that's it. It's really, with these brain teaser questions, it is not a cruel and unusual form of punishment that recruiters and hiring managers are trying to, to psych you out with. So it's not a bunch of people in a back room going, wah ha ha ha, how can we freak people out the most? It really isn't. It is about assessing your critical thinking skills. So these questions may be a lot more common in roles that would require critical thinking, such as consulting, IT, or any other type of computational scientific type of a role. I hope you found this helpful. Thank you so much, Anirban, for this wonderful question. If you have any questions that you would like for me to answer for you, please feel free, of course, leave your comments in the comment section below. You can also send me a private message via email, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, whatever works best for you. If you like this video, please be sure to like and share with your friends. And don't forget, if you subscribe to my channel, you will be the first to know when my most recent videos come out. And if you need any help preparing for your next interview, please come on, check out my website. I'll be happy to help you. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, happy hunting!